Hi, everyone, and welcome to the ELB Alliance Core Child Attendance Demo Overview. So we're going to be covering kind of how the child attendance feature works and the back end of that. So once you're on the Early Learning Ventures Alliance Core website, like as the overview video mentioned, no software is needed or downloads are installed, simply just a website that you have internet access to on whatever internet accessing device you have. So rather than pulling up the core login page, toggle over to the kiosk. And this is typically where the outreach and sales team starts regarding a demo anyways, starting with how the child attendance feature works. So once you're on the kiosk login, so this is available, basically, you can know that you're on the right page through the navy bar at the top rather than the core purple bar. So make sure the navy bar is showing for the kiosk login. You will log in with your admin kiosk user credentials here. Click on login, and this is the screen that will be pulled up for daily check-in and check-out of the children by the authorized pickups or the parents themselves. So it's going to ask for a security code. So mom and dad have a different security code. Grandma and grandpa have a different, aunt and uncle have a different code. Everybody has a different code for compliance and licensing purposes, and they will simply type the code in on a tablet or a keypad or an app, an iPad or a desktop, depending on what system or internet accessing device you're using, and simply check the child in this way on the kiosk. I will obviously make note of the QR code due to the pandemic starting in March or so of last year. We have pandemic related enhancements installed on the system. So this QR code does change every single day, and it's different per site, family child care home or center. So people cannot take a picture of this QR code and take it home and check their child in at their child care at the parent or whoever it is house. For security purposes and compliance, that QR code does change, so no worries there. So if a site is doing curbside pickup and drop off, they can simply have this app or a screenshot of the page pulled up. A staff member can have a phone or an iPad out on the curb, anything like that, in order to have this QR code pulled up for the parent. The parent just scans this with their phone, similar to how restaurants do nowadays with menus, and that will work as the security code for a kind of a touchless, contactless sign in with the pandemic having happened. But since we are kind of doing this the old-fashioned way, sharing my screen, I will simply type my code in here and click on child check-in and check out. The system knows that I am logged in right now as Grandma Judith and knows the day and the time that I have arrived, and I am authorized to pick up and drop off 2 different children. So if I just have one child for that day, simply click on I will click on check in here, but I do have temperature checks and health checks turned on right now for my account. So it's going to prompt you to type in the child's attendance for that day. We'll say 98 for the time being. It's also going to ask if the child has experienced COVID-related symptoms or been around someone with those symptoms. So you simply just turn that on if so. And if you just have the one child for the day, click on check in. If you have both, you can simply select both. Make sure that you do put the temperature in, record if the child is experiencing symptoms, check in for both. Click on close, and it is ready for the next set of parents to come in. So that is essentially pretty straightforward what the kiosk is used for: daily check-in and check-out of whoever is authorized to come by and check out, have daily child attendance for this child. So what this looks like on the back end here, let me switch over to my screen. Okay, so now for the core side of things, again, we will log in and go to the child attendance portion. So whenever you are on your dashboard on today's activity, you will see which children have been checked in at what time into what room. It will also pull a list of birthdays here, and you can change staff to child ratios as needed under the room change area. So if someone needs to be just to keep up with real-time staff to child ratios, again, like I said, if you need to move one child in from classroom 1 into classroom 2, notate that move time, etc., you can do that, record the change, etc. So pretty straightforward when it comes to child attendance. You can pull all kinds of reporting based on child attendance on the parent portal side as well. If the parent or authorized pickup was not the one who dropped the child off or picked the child up, and a staff member or the provider themselves did it with their own code, they're prompted on the parent portal to approve that that day and that time was correct. So child attendance, pretty straightforward when it comes to the kiosk itself. It's a very user-friendly tool. in order to keep track of child attendance and use this for compliance and licensing purposes or any kind of reporting that you would need. Thank you so much, everybody.